another independent body that protects whistleblowers, the Office of Special Counsel, which is supposed to operate as a secure channel for federal employees to disclose potential wrongdoing without fear of retaliation. It's really no surprise, I guess, that Trump has nominated this guy to lead the office. Meet Paul Ingrassia. He is 30 years old with barely a year of government experience under his belt. He currently works as the White House liaison for the Department of Homeland Security. And while that sounds important, it is not a senior job in any way, shape, or form. If he's whistleblowers and alleged ethics violations, well, hold on to your hat, Dr. Andrew Tate. He posted this picture of the two of them on Instagram with the glowing caption, "Andrew Tate is an extraordinary human being." If that doesn't give you enough sense of this guy's worldview, this guy's judgment, where he stands, here is a sampling of his activity on Elon Musk's X. Last year, on the anniversary of September 11th, Ingrassia shared a video of things like, quote, "Being anti-Trump is the biggest dog whistle in politics for anti-white racism." Okay. And last year for Pride Month, Ingrassia posted, "Certain behaviors are righteous and should be encouraged. Others are wrong and should be stigmatized and condemned." As for his writing, Ingrassia has written his fair share of fawning pieces about Trump. He's also argued that January 6 rioters were politically persecuted and that white supremacist and anti-Semite Nick Fuentes has been wrongly censored. I could go on. I literally could go on. There's much more. But I think you get a pretty solid sense of who this guy is. His politics are fringe far right. His judgment and objectivity are very questionable. And he's fiercely loyal to Donald Trump. He is pretty much the last person on earth who should run the office that helps and protects federal employees who speak up against this administration and what it is doing, which is so pivotal to have those protections. And based on everything we've seen Trump and his administration do, that appears to be completely by design.
Welcome to the first 100 days of Donald Trump's failed attempt to remake American society, which has been an absolute and total unmitigated disaster. And I'll build on what was said just a moment ago. Not only was this how to destroy the world's greatest economy in 100 economy and its world standing in 100 days, because that is exactly what Donald Trump has done over the last 3.5 months. Now, let's make something very clear. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Doge, these billionaires who are serving in the cabinet around him are not here to make American life better. They are here to steal from us. They are here to remake American society in their image, and they are here to take over our government and dismantle it from within. Over the last 100 days, they have literally fired tens of thousands of Americans. They have signed hundreds of executive orders and taken hundreds of executive actions, resulting in mass firings, dismantling of agencies, data mining of your sensitive data, hurting real Americans, teachers, firefighters. Elon Musk taking off with literally billions of dollars in his pocket in new contracts. Now, is it any question that any of this is historically unpopular with the American people? In fact, the polling as of this week shows that almost 2/3 of Americans believe that they are doing a terrible job, whether that's Elon Musk or Doge or what Donald Trump is doing with the economy and his tariffs and immigration. The American people are speaking loud and clear. They hands off the vital housing and food assistance programs that, as the Progressive Caucus, we keep showing up, keep calling Republican offices, keep organizing, because we will take back our democracy, because we will make sure that our colleagues across the aisle stand up and are held accountable, and we will take back this House in the midterms and restore the sanity and democracy of...
We are not the enemy!
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 National Guard is coming!
Let him fucking go! Come on, man, you know this is wrong! You know this is wrong!
Ultimately, the answer on this is automation, also some reform within the current governing structure. And then also, when you think about, there are 34 million able-bodied adults in our Medicaid program. There are plenty of workers in America.
I really wanted to sort of get in front of people. Who are we talking about? Who's the secretary talking about? 34 million able-bodied individuals. So let's break it down. According to, very reputable people who follow these things, like the Kaiser Family Foundation, who's actually on Medicaid? Well, 38% of the people on Medicaid of that number are children. 17% live in rural areas. 15% have 3 or more chronic conditions. Okay? But there's more. The foundation also finds that a majority, 70% of Medicaid adults are already working, America. They're already working. 30% are not working. Part-time, 26%. Full-time, 44%. And that 30% folks that are not working, guess what? They're not working because they have to care for other family members who otherwise don't get cared for. They have illness or disability. They have school attendance issues they've got to deal with because they're trying to better themselves even though they're living in poverty. It's amazing to me how they want to rebrand and reframe the storyline, Alicia, about human beings who are just trying to get through the damn day, who are just trying to care for a loved one, who are just trying to raise their families, and have enough to deal with in that vein, and then layer on top of that being poor and having to find health care wherever they can get it. And this program is there for them. And so now this secretary wants to ship them off and put them in a field because she thinks they're able-bodied and should be working.
So just moments ago, Donald Trump made a major reversal in his mass deportation. Indiscriminately, he's been sending armed agents into farms and fields and ranches all throughout California and increasingly across the country. I was in Oxnard, California yesterday. I met with a 12-year-old boy, tears pouring down his face. His mom and dad snatched by agents. They were working the fields for over 20 years. He doesn't know where they are. He has no family in the United States. He's here alone, a sixth grader. Donald Trump may not care about him, but he's finally listening to you, calling out these indiscriminate acts of cruelty. Let's keep up the pressure and let's do it peacefully.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. All right. Let's see. Everything's off. There. That's a little bit better. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Did everybody hear me? All righty. Looks like you can hear me. I apologize for being 40 minutes late. I do apologize. Hopefully you guys will forgive me. 40 minutes late. Since I've been finding out stuff today with my living arrangements, and ta-da! Yippee! I got approved. So now I can move to the other apartment. But I don't know when. That's the thing. So this morning I got an email from the social services. They said your relocation program or whatever has been approved, and and it said like all the amounts that they're going to send to the place where I'm moving to, and then it says this could take up to 10 days, 10 business days. So then I called. Well, I sent an email to my caseworker asking, okay, what's next? What happens next? How long before I can move? Or can you tell me what's happening next? Whatever. And then I got one of those auto reply things that said, I'm not in the office today. So apparently my caseworker gets Fridays off because she's not there. She took the day off. So then I was calling other people in that administration to try to just talk to somebody, because I did talk to the place where I'm moving to, and I told them about it, that I was approved, and she said, well, we have to get a letter from them verifying this so that we can proceed, and all this kind of stuff. So then I went back and I called down to the social services offices. I was on hold forever and ever and ever, and finally got to somebody who could look up my case, and he said, yeah, you're approved, everything's good. But he said, we don't send out letters to landlords. He goes, they will receive the money because they're sending them money. They're sending them first and last and all, and the deposit. They're sending all this money so I can get over there. He goes, they will see that in their account, and then they will know that you were approved or something like that. And I'm like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Just sit here and until that happens? And he goes, yeah, basically that's it. And I said, okay, well, I really want to get out of where I'm at now because it's very expensive where I'm living. It's draining me financially. And he goes, I understand, but that's that's the way it goes. And he goes, I can't tell you when it's going to get deposited, other than up to 10 days. So they have up to 10 days, business days. So that means they don't count weekends, they don't count holidays. So yeah, I called back. I called the Desert Palms. That's where I'm moving to. I called them back and I told them what the guy told me. And then she said, well, could you just send me, how about if you just send me a copy of the email that you received saying that you were approved? And then she said, I'll send that to my boss, and I'll see if that will allow us to give you the keys today, and you can move in today. And so that's the last thing I heard. So I'm just waiting to hear back from her sometime, probably after the show. Hopefully there'll be an email or a voicemail or something, or that will say, yeah, you can come in. I would love it if she said, yeah, come on over and hand you the keys today. Because every day I stay here, it's just more money out of my pocket that I really, I need to spend elsewhere. All right, guys. So thank you so much for putting up with that. I know it's late, but I was trying to get a hold of people and find out about people and find out about what happens next and everything else. So, thank you guys so much. Now I'm not able to go all the way to the beginning of the chat again. It's not letting me. I think so. I don't know who was first or second or third. Here's where the chat goes, and you guys can maybe figure out how, where I was at in the chat. It's where Damon Dog says, Guten Tag, Herr Mad Mac. That's where I'm at in the chat. So I have a feeling that was pretty far into the chat. Thanks, you guys. We got 28 watching, 27 thumbs up. So we are at a slight deficit. So we need to get at least one more thumbs up so we can be at a balanced budget. Guys, thanks so much for being here. I am very happy. Finally, that I was so worried that this was not going to clear. You know what I mean? It wasn't going to get approved. I've applied for a lot of other things through this. This is my first. I was like 0 for 3. I've applied for other senior services, financial services for seniors. I applied for low income apartment. Everything got denied. Everything's been denied. This is like the fourth thing. This is fourth time was the charm, I guess. So I'm so happy that we can prove Kelly wrong. Remember, Kelly was saying I was going to get denied because I'm a white guy. I'm so happy that we can prove that person wrong. But it was touch and go there for a minute. I mean, it was touch and go. I was very, very worried that I wasn't going to get approved. But finally, I got the approval, and now I just got to wait for the rest of it to go through. All right, so Damon Dog says John's here now. So this must have been just when the intro was starting, I guess, as far as the chat is concerned. Apparently Jolie is here because Belfast Bob is saying, Jolie, I've been called similar or worse by my family. So I missed a lot of stuff in your chat. And it won't let me go any further than that for some reason. Stephanie B2's here. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. Says, I have a larger grow tent that supports 2 plants and a cloning tent. That sounds like, I don't know, sci-fi. David Dog, like number 14. So here I am. I'm 14 into it. Let's see. Stephanie was buffering. Hopefully we're not buffering. Hopefully we're good. Are we okay now? Is everything okay? Hopefully we're okay. Roxanne Armfield's here. Hey, Roxanne, good to see you. There's Mad Max, Slava Ukraini. There's Jolie. Chris Doug's here. Hey, Chris Doug, good to see you with your life jacket. Brooklyn SJU, a.k.a. Trixie LaRue, is here. Good to see Brooklyn. Now I've got like an earache, though. It's always something, right? It's always something. AM's here. Hey, AM, good to see you. Alvin Stu, welcome to the Driver's Lounge. Good to see you. Roxanne Epstein is here. Frozenish. Mad Mac, yo, Jim the Bass. I guess Jim the Bass is here. So hi, Jim. Says I was on a feed for TJ that looked like this one, but then said errors. So I'm on the Cool Kids channel now. I wonder, because I was trying to start the show actually a few minutes earlier than it actually started, because I was getting like an error message. I wonder if you saw my error message somehow, because it was saying like not enough bandwidth or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. Non-useful 2 is here. It says it was just reported that Iran endorsed a nuclear electromagnetic pulse (EMP) attack, according to the Secure the Grid coalition. This kind of attack would involve detonating a nuclear weapon at high altitude, producing an electromagnetic pulse that could disable electronic systems and infrastructure. This will put the entire world on high alert And it would also probably not do good for my live stream. 72 says the buffering is driving me nuts. Are we still? I don't think we're still buffering. Hopefully we're okay. I'm just looking in the chat to see. I think we're okay now. Hopefully we're okay. Soulcraft's here. Soulcraft. We got some Soulcraft coming at you. Hey, Soulcraft. Search for you. We are not the enemy. 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 Luck Dragon's here. Luck Dragon says, I'm not the type of person that says hi to everyone on the street. I prefer a silent nod. Maybe a wink, I guess is what that was. WW says, Tim's down in Northern Illinois, but humidity is still oppressive. Well, looky here. Look at here. It's 11:51. It's already 103 here in Vegas. Expected high of 109. Possibly higher. We're going to be around 110 degrees every day for the next few days. And that is hot. Once you start getting around 110 and above, it gets... If you have to walk out in that shit for any more than 5 minutes, like yesterday, I took the Vay car. Here's how I have to do it now. Well, I don't have to do it, but this is the way I did it. I took Vay, that's the little rental car, from here to getting into the office there from Sun. I'm mid-3. Barefoot Bear's here. Hey, Barefoot Bear, good to see you. Thanks for coming on into the old driver. We're at 3,900 subs. We need to get to 4,000 because we really need to eat that dandelion. We need to eat some dandelions. AM, yeah, looking at the intro, veterans, children, and disabled folks are mostly on assistance. Just skipping down a little bit here, just reading some chats. Because we're really way behind. I think I should probably skip along here a little bit. I do know we made the goal. I was just waiting to scroll down to them, but let me just say thank you guys. Yippee! Thanks, we made the goal. That was probably a record for making the goal. You guys are awesome. I'll individually address them when I get. I haven't even scrolled down to them yet. But thank you guys so much. And I do see that it looks like I'm buffering on my iPad, so I apologize for the buffering. I am getting another message about an unstable signal. So hopefully not. Everyone is saying yippee, congratulations. This one I was telling you about when I finally got approved. So thank you guys. Robert Perez from down San Diego way says, Topo, what's left of the morning to you, a lovely day hearing more and more bad news from DC. It's just going to be that way for the next 3 years, I guess. Jet up the base says, Trucker John, let's fucking go, TJ. And there's the first one, Belfast Bob. Thank you so much, Belfast Bob. 2 pounds from Ireland. From Ireland. It's my island. Thank you, Belfast Bob. Yippee! I gotta say yippee. I gotta say the yippies. Here's Stephanie B2. I'm broke, but here you go. Stephanie, yippee! Please don't send me money if you're broke. Please don't. Please don't. But I appreciate you, and I'm so thankful for that. But guys, don't don't ever. It's only $2, so I think you're okay. But I mean, But thank you, Steph. I appreciate it. Mad Max says if the other apartment has shitty Wi-Fi, you will have to move again, TJ. Sorry, but that's the way it is. Your audience is more important. Haha. I'm just razzing you. I know. I mean, I hope it's. I almost don't know if it could be any worse, because right now I do see that it looks like I'm kind of buffering, and let's just keep our fingers crossed. Chris Doug, we're all coming over for a house party. Yeah, well, we might be able to fit 5 people in there. It's just a studio. So. Again, guys, I apologize for the buffering. 40 minutes. Yeah, I know. And here's WW. A win is a win. 333. Thank you, WW. Yippee! It goes out to WW for that 333 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Belfast Bob, not TJ Sox cross country on a Harley D. Really? Going on a cross country trip? I'll put that. I don't know how well I would do. I haven't really ridden a motorcycle in probably decades, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind giving it a shot. I don't know if I'd want to ride a Harley or not, though. I mean, I think I'd want something a little smoother ride. You know, I don't know. Jim DeBay Senior, Strucker John, you're only 39. That's what I tell all the ladies. That's when they're like, poor guy, he's really delusional, or he's really it's a rough 39. Mad Max, I'm very impressed that TJ had the correct German pronunciation of the German words that Damon Dog wrote. Well done. Now I'm going to mess it up. Air TJ. What did I say? Guten Tag or Guten Fassen Dusche Deutsch? I don't know. I don't even know what I said. Roxanne Epstein, $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Roxanne. Yippee! Goes out to Roxanne. Congratulations, TJ. Great news. Yes, it is great news. But finally, I've been talking. How long have I been talking about this? I mean, for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I've been trying to get this done. I mean, I filed for this back in, I think it was March 15th or something like that. It was before I got evicted. I was trying to prevent the eviction, which didn't happen. But so my eviction prevention became relocation. It just switched. But it's been, so that's March. You got March, April, May, June, July, like 4 or 5 months, man. And it's been back and forth, and they've asked me so many things, and I've been providing everything, and then they say it's not good enough, or please explain this and do that. Oh my God! Ugh. But thankfully, I stuck in there. I hung in there, and thank goodness it went through. Although, well, you know, I'm not going to complain. It does look like I'm buffering, guys. I apologize for the buffering. Tim Farrell says, "Have it for John. I might check in later. Have a good weekend, everyone, if I do not return." Well, you too, Tim. You're probably gone already, but yeah, have a good one. I'm just looking. I'm wondering, why is this? Why is it doing this? I mean, it should be. It's in the spot. I have the thing in the spot. Damon Dog, $4.99 super. Yeah, hopefully we will, and that's goal achieved. So you guys achieved that goal in like 2 seconds. Belfast Bob says TJ called certain things by family socialist, communist, didn't mind anarchist, homophobic, etc., etc., etc. Oh, that's when you were earlier reference when you said you've been called worse or something like that. Chris Doug just finished a slice of pistachio cake from my neighborhood Turkish bakery, off the register. Delicious. Now I'm really super hungry. I haven't even had breakfast yet. All I had 2 slices. Okay, full disclosure, I had 2 slices of toast with strawberry jelly on it. and my coffee. I was so busy calling and waiting on hold and everything, and doing all that. I didn't even have a chance to get breakfast. So as soon as we're done with this live stream, I'm going to go get breakfast. I might even have a celebratory breakfast over at Blueberry Hill Diner. Now that I mention it, I might call up the old Vay car, have myself a little celebratory breakfast at the Blueberry Diner. What do you guys think of that? The Soulcraft says, just saw a teaser trailer for The Odyssey, directed by Nolan, as in Nolan? You know, the guy who did all those trippy movies. Looks great. The Odyssey, is this the Greek thing, the Greek Odyssey from Homer or whatever his name was? Not Homer Simpson, but the other Homer. WW is 777 super chat. Thank you so much. Yippee, going out to WW. Excited to see you making moves. Truly, literally. Thanks, WW. I appreciate you. Chris Doug says the Iranian-initiated bounty on Tangwig Cheeto dust is about $18 million. Well, BG200 LBFB says there's no buffering at all. I hope that's true for everyone. I'm just noticing on my iPad, it's kind of getting glitchy. So I don't know if that's my iPad or if it's happening to all of y'all. To all y'alls. Non-useful too, coming in with some more info here, says Missouri governor just repeals paid sick leave law. That it's definitely a dry heat. I know it's a joke and everything, joke. We all joke. We're all joking. It's definitely a dry heat. And it is different. You can throw all that dry heat stuff out the window. Because at that point, it's like pretty much like you've stepped into an oven. And your skin is going to just melt off your face. But it's a dry heat. Mad Max says, what's that then? Your bucket list? A Harley? Life has an expiration date, mate. Go for it whilst you're still rocking in the free world. At Belfast Bob. Yeah, go for it, Belfast Bob. Rocking in the free world. AM says, I guess our smart leader in Washington will not read that security alert on Iran. First of all, he would have to learn how to read. The Nikum boobs that he has in his cabinet positions and everything, and heading up our defenses. These are scary times, folks. These are scary times. Stephanie B2 is really getting a lot of buffering, and I am noticing it on my iPad. Like, not necessarily buffering, but where sort of glitchiness. So, but I don't know if I can do anything about it. If I could do something about it, I would, and I don't think there is. I'm gonna do anything. So, but anyhow, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on this glitchiness here. Very buffery, says Chris Doug. Barefoot Bear buffering. I'm going to need a buffering. You know, I mean, there's really nothing I can do, I don't think. Other than apologize. Non-usual says it is legal as far as according to this. Our Attorney General is taking it to the Missouri Supreme Court, then United States Supreme Court if necessary. Evil fucks. Roxanne is not buffering anymore. That's good. And we are happy for you. You finally have a place of your own. What a relief. Oh, what a relief it is. The main relief is saving about $700 a month. That's the real relief. Non-user, restart your page. It works for me. Oh yeah, on your individual pages, maybe. Yeah. Luck Dragon, greatest of all lives by the greatest of all time. Terry Taylor's here. Hey Terry, good to see you. Says yay TJ, we're so happy you've been approved. Thank you, thank you, Terry. Non-usual, I spoke too soon. Search for you. Will your new sofa fit? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Because I'm going to fit my little twin bed, which I'm going to miss my bed here. It's like a queen size. But I'm going to have to. I think it'll fit. I think the couch and the twin bed will fit. I think. It should fit. It should fit. Because the couch is actually, as some people pointed out, a love seat. But it's kind of like it's a big love seat. So, I mean, it's almost, because I do have the couch. I have a couch here too. I think it's almost the same length as the couch. But I think it'll fit. I haven't gone in with the tape measure and measured anything. We're gonna make it work, man. We're gonna make it fit. All right. Mad Mac, let's keep our effing, and then it's a bunch of like buffering symbols. And then there's a bunch of German that I don't know if I'd even attempt. Ach, du mein Gut, Scheiße. Scheiße. I think that means shit in German. I think Scheiße means shit. I'm just guessing, though. I don't know for sure. I think Ach means like, ah! Du mein Guten. This no good. Shit! I don't know if I'm translating right. Am I close? Am I close to translating that right? Hopefully the buffering wasn't so bad and you heard my translation. Belfast Bob, no TJ. I wished I had done it on 10-speed bicycle. Well, there are people that do that kind of shit. They bicycle across America. They do. Crazy, but they do it. Chris Doug, we all remember that knock on the door. Remember that? Yeah. Woof. That, just thinking about that, it kind of gives me chills or something. I don't know. It was weird. Non-useless Specken Sie Deutsch. Is that how you spell Specken? See? Specken Sie Deutsch? WW, I'm good at German diction. Learned it through voice lessons. You took voice lessons? Yes, I would like to take some voice lessons. What kind of voice would you like? I would like this kind of voice. Chris, like 3 o'clock, so I guess I'm about 13 minutes behind. Jolie, be right back. It's Adult Swim at the pool. I'm going in. Go in there and take a dip, Jolie. Get a nice cool down there. Get cooled down. Enjoy that water. Enjoy that pool. WW says I live in. He says, "Oh boy, oy vey! I have a big house, 2,400 square feet, 5 bedrooms. I can't afford to sell it. Would love to live in a nice RV and travel. I wonder if you could rent it out. W. Could you maybe just rent it out? Then go get you that RV and go just travel the country. Something to think about. I know renting out's a hassle because then you have a lot of your stuff in there. Then you're like, okay, do I got to move my stuff out? I don't want people going through my shit. So yeah, I don't know. It's not as easy as it might sound. Belfast Bob says, sorry, start again, TJ. Travel across the country on a Harley D, but didn't and won't happen unless I win lottery, but did cross country on a 10-speed bicycle with tent, cooking items, etc. tied around me. Did you cross Ireland or did you cross the United States? Because I think I could cross Ireland on a bike in like a day. I don't know. But to cross America, the United States in a bicycle would probably take me a couple months or something. I don't know. But anyhow, but it sounds like that was a fun adventure. Non-Useful 2 says in 2007 we built our 2-story home on 3 acres with cash on the barrel for $63,000. That includes the land and I guess well and septic. All now worth over $200,000. Selling it in 2031 to retire in Puerto Vallarta. That sounds fucking awesome, dude. That sounds great. I envy you. That's awesome, and you did it right. You bought low, you're going to sell high, and you're going to fucking retire to an awesome place. I've never been to Puerto Vallarta, but I've seen lots of videos, and because I've been looking about places to retire to. That would be awesome. So congratulations on that. I hope it all, we're still about 5 years away from that. So hopefully that all plays out, man. William's here. Hey, William. Good to see William. Hello to you. Hello to you. WW, I bought this place for $111,000 in the year 2000. Now worth over twice that. All capital gains. So you have capital gains, taxes, unless you can turn that over, the money into another property, I think, or there might be some other things you can put it into, maybe that would help to negate some of those taxes. So I'm no tax professional, so speak to your tax professional or CPO or whatever. Man, Mac, I told you before, wear that tinfoil hat. Yeah. I'm about ready to try that. That's where I'm at with it. Damon Dog says the buffering is intermittent and not really a problem. So, okay. Good to get that feedback. Belfast Bob says Drogheda to Dublin, ferry over to Wales, then through Wales and into England, then down to Hertfordshire, Gloucester. Took me a week. Okay, and I was just giving you a hard time. But yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Sounds like a really fun, memorable thing to do. I hope you took lots of pictures and videos and shit. That's what I would be doing. Chris Doug says MAGA is still bitching about Epstein file. They don't care about Medicare cuts, ICE attacking children, or Trump being Putin's sock puppet. But the file. And let them keep fighting about it. Mr. Spock is here. Hey, live long and prosper, Mr. Spock. With all you and your chickens and your pot. And whatever. Mr. Brock says, howdy, everyone. You should have called the show Trucker John's AI Friday. And so I'm not doing really any AI, but you know. Rob Perez says, hey, Johnny, just wondering. Why did I say Lust? Just wondering, maybe if you adjust your right eyebrow, you might get better Wi-Fi reception. Maybe. Let me know if that's working or not. And let me know if it's working. And let me know. What if I do this with my lip? Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Music. Say, hey, music. Good to see you. Sounds like Yiddish. Golf Marine. Etten mein Session. Etten mein Session. Session. Bad Mac says, good guess, TJ. Correct translation. Oh my goodness, shit. Oh my goodness. Okay. Brooklyn says you have PTSD from that knocking door. I think I do. 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 I don't know. I think I'm going crazy. A little bit crazy. Chris Doug should be pronounced Scheiße. Scheiße. The Kaiser is full of Scheiße. Chris Doug, I'm 40% Franco-Germanic according to DNA test. Octune, baby. It's a great album, great tour by U2. Skip it on down a little bit here. WW, Trump wants martial law. I thought you were the one that's saying, oh, nothing's happened, you guys are worrying too much, everything's fine. You guys are complaining too much, you know. Now a warning from WW. Golf Marine, hey Golf Marine, good to see you. Golf Marine says, saw a pic of a tank at the Port of Oakland and was bugging a little till I found out it was being loaded for delivery to Australia. Belfast Bob says Ireland, then Wales, then England. TJ took a week Belfast to Hereford, 500 miles. Yeah, I think I already saw that. Mad Mac, it is sprechen Sie Deutsch. Nein. Golf Marine says to speak proper German, a little phlegm must coat the listener. Now, I'm used to a blind trust is the way to go. Put your house in a trust. Much harder to be sued. Belfast Bob says then picked hops and fruit for 3 months. For 3 months, maybe bought a truck, an old but gorgeous FG. Was already converted and never cycled a bike again. Wow. Golf Marine says, hey, TJ, I learned that there's a delay control on your YouTube dashboard so you can catch up. Okay. William says when you're a senior and sell your house, you don't have to pay tax on it. That's once in a lifetime thing. Oh, so that'd be great for W then, or whomever. You know. Belfast Bob says before mobile phones or compact affordable cameras, but memories will never fade. 1985. Yeah, back in '85, most of your like your video recording cameras. 1985. I'm trying to think. We had them, but they were like this big, and I think you actually put like a fucking VHS tape in it. This is even before they came out with the mini cassettes or the mini. Because I think we had one, and I remember using it. And you kind of rested on your shoulder. I mean, it was like a pretty big camera, but that was supposed to be the consumer like home recording system. The mobile recorder. That would be pretty hard to bring it on your bike trip. But still, like I would have at least had a camera, like a regular little Instamatic camera, and snapped some photos. Which you probably did. I'm not saying you didn't. Chris Doug Schweinhund best describes our dear leader. Just going to skip down a little bit in the chat. Boy, we've gotten a lot of German references. I think I did catch up though just now. So, Gulf Marine in 1985, I was freshly minted U.S. Marine Private. It's hard to believe. That's 40 years ago, isn't it? Wow. Mad Mac. Schweinhund equal pig dog. Hey, pig dog. Gulf Marine, I've been retired for 20 years now. WW, there are guidelines in the capital gains exemption. I might not qualify. Speak to your tax professional. They should be able to tell you everything you need to know about that sort of thing. MJ Daniel says, thought we were Irish, and DNA said we are 42% Scandinavian. Bloody Vikings. WW totally retired for 5 years last April. I just found out that I am, I guess, fully enrolled in Medicare. That if there will still be a Medicare. But I turned 65 in October, and I went on my Social Security page, profile page, whatever, and because I was gonna look and see, I probably should start doing whatever it is I have to do to get enrolled. And when I scrolled down on my page there, it has me already enrolled for, I guess, Part A and Part B. So that's cool. And then I did a little reading on it, and they said that I should be it should be activated on October 1st of this year, which is really cool. But I'm kind of sad because I don't even know if Medicare is going to be around. I mean, it will be at least for probably the first year of it. So that's why we need to vote blue, no matter who. So hopefully they can restore and save Medicare and Medicaid and all that good shit. Non-useful says, in the 80s, I would rent a camcorder from Blockbuster rental on all vacations overseas. They were very expensive to buy. Weekly rental was only $125 a week. Yeah, I remember camcorders and stuff like that were like $2,000 and $2,500. They were really expensive. You're right. And then of course, like Hal Sparks says, technology is deflationary. I think he said. I mean, I remember when VCRs were $2,000 and even microwave ovens, for crying out loud, were really expensive. And then after 5 or 8 years or 10 years, I mean, you could get them for $50, or you could get them for $200 or $500 or whatever, depending on the models and everything else. But crazy how they were so expensive at first. But that's the way, that's how it works. WW says, Damon Dog, would you believe that as I get older, I put up with less and less? When I subbed, I called the office as soon as a kid acted up. Oh, you were one of those kind of teachers, huh? Whatever that means. Gulf Marine says, I found a cool little camcorder from 2007 in the trash. Works like new. Wow. Gulf Marine Roxanne, nothing left to raid nowadays. Damon Dog says, it's going to be a longer, harder process to get your Medicare started. I would start getting papers and shit together. Well, like I said, they've already enrolled me. Now, I guess there was a number to call. I should probably call a number and speak with someone over the phone. But according to my Social Security page, I'm already enrolled in Part A and Part B. WW says, laughing out loud, I still have a couple of VHS recorders, maybe a little camcorder somewhere. Mad Max says, I love that Bungholio got pissed off and didn't go into work today. Epstein Files, baby. Yeah. These assholes, they can't stand the heat. They're completely, not only are they underqualified, they're just not qualified at all to hold these positions. And they're really proving themselves to be the little pussy-ass bitches that they are. WW, I still have my parents' bag phone. What in the hell is a bag phone? I don't even know what that is. Damon Dog Mad Mac, I thought it was hilarious. He knows they buried the Epstein stuff, but can't talk about it. You know what? If someone asked me the other day, like, what would I ask Trump if I could ask him something? And I think maybe, I don't know if this answers that question or not, but I think reporters, I know they would get kicked out. Probably they would lose their credentials to go into the press briefing room and or to be in anywhere close proximity of Trump in these gaggles that they do, these news gaggles and stuff. So I understand that they are kind of walking on eggshells as reporters because they don't want to lose access. But let's just say hypothetically, let's hypotheticalize this. I wish reporters would just say, like, point blank, did you fly with Jeffrey Epstein and to go to his island? And were you having sex with underage girls there, or on his plane, or on his island? Just point blank ask him. And of course he'll lie and he'll squirm and say no, but he'll say that's a nasty question. That's a nasty question. And of course that reporter would be probably afraid that he would be a target now, and Trump would probably send every government agency he could after him, as far as like, finding anything if the guy didn't pay his taxes or the guy had anything, that he could use against him. So I understand, there is that, there is the fear of that type of thing happening, but you have to, I guess we need some courageous reporters that just ask point blank questions. Like, did you have sex with underage girls? I think that's I think that's what we should just ask them that. You were friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 25 years. How many times were you on his plane? How many times did you party with him? Just ask him point blank. He'll lie, but it'd be nice to see him squirm his way out of it, try to squirm his way out of that shit. I think, anyhow. TJ says, non-user says, TJ, sounds like you can also receive a food card up to $273 monthly. I know. I started like like last year, or maybe like a year ago or something. I started the process of getting. I guess that's SNAP, right? And then they send you a bunch of paperwork, and you're supposed to. There was just a bunch of stuff I didn't feel like. Or no, I think I had to like meet. I had to like actually go to a meeting, like attend a meeting with someone, and I didn't want to do that. So I didn't, and I think I had an appointment. They gave me an appointment and everything. I just blew it off because I'm like, why can't we just do this all online? I don't want to fucking have to drive down to your fucking Social Security office or whatever, not Social Security office, but whatever office it is. So that's on me. I think I did qualify, but they have to have these in-person meetings with you. I'm like, everything's done online now. Why do I have to fucking, do that? But maybe I'll restart it again because it'd be nice. Every little bit helps. Mr. Bob Newell's here, first time caller, long time listener. WW, I have so much useless old tech, paid a fortune for it, so I can't throw it away. Just get rid of it, man. Take it, just give it to Goodwill or something, or have a yard sale. Some dude might buy that shit up. You never know. MJ Daniel, doesn't Bannon look like Heat Miser with leprosy? He does not look well. In fact, he looks like Shiza. He looks like Shiza. Man, Mac, best description of a twerp that I could ever use is his photo. I'm mid-thread on something. Not sure what you guys are talking about. Belfast Bob, I've got 2 Betamax sitting, and Broad Tray and Bakerwood used full of 80s horror flicks, but need connections. Chris Doug says, "Is if Bong Holy actually does any real work? He's busy playing with Lincoln Logs and coloring books." Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. WW, and if Bannon is the real God, what do we do then? Then we say, God, you're not looking well. Mr. Bob Newell, I can't hear you. Thanks. MJ Daniel says, if I was a reporter, I would rather resign than go to the freak show of the White House. Well, I don't know. I've done some reporting on a small scale. I was a stringer for a newspaper, also for a college paper, and for our local paper in Antelope Valley called the Antelope Valley Press. And it's not a tiny little paper. It had a pretty big circulation. I think well over 100,000 circulation. You know, but it's not the LA Times or New York Times or anything like that. But I was a stringer, and I did some reporting, and I did some interviews and stuff like that. And as a reporter, I mean, you want to be where the stories are, and if you have a Washington D.C. assignment, and that's your beat, you've got to try. You've got to get to the president whenever you can. And that's your job, man. So if you don't want to do that, then you got to find another line of work. Gulf Marine says it's better to let all the Jones burn themselves out on hot new tech and join in when the bugs are all worked out. That's true, and the cost is 10%. Yeah. Yeah, they say that usually like not buy the first new thing that comes out. You know, has all new tech and stuff because they're just still working the bugs out, and also, like I say, it's deflationary too as they ramp up and start, going into higher production. They can bring the cost down and stuff. Chris Doug says Bannon is a rail yard hobo with a big mouth. WW says, what if Steve Bannon is just the personification of God? What are you on this God kick for? Okay. He has the influence over more humans than any of us can really imagine. Fox and Trump both use Breitbart talking points. Well, that's true. I don't know what that has to do with anything about being the personification of God. Why do you got to bring God into this? Non-News2 says, if Bannon is the new God, do we as worshipers catch a good viral case of impetigo? Hey, look. I'm just gonna put it out there. Steve Bannon is not God, okay? WW Bannon ran the insurrection from his hotel in D.C. Does that make him? I don't know what that has to do with being God, but yeah. If Jay Daniel says they lived within a 10 to 15 minute drive from each other in New York City and Florida since the 80s, talking about Epstein and Trump. Somebody needs to ask, how could he not know? Right. That's a good question. Mr. Babdul, are we done with the apartment talk? I'll hang up and listen to your answer. I think I've said everything there is to say about that for now. The only thing to update will be when they tell me I can move in. When they say, come and get your key, you're good to go. That's the only thing we're waiting for. Yeah, non-use said it's free food and you can use it towards your utilities. Absolutely. I think I agree. I should do it. I should, because I think I am eligible. I'm pretty sure I was eligible. I just had to, they just wanted me to go and meet with somebody in person, which I thought was ridiculous. We can just do this online, people. This is 2025, not 1985 like we were talking about. But anyhow, you're right, non-use. Every little bit helps. Belfast Bob, he's dangerous. He's funded a group of wing Catholics. Are somebody talking about Bannon that have bought an old monastery in Italy planning their shit. WW, he who pays says, as my dad was informed by an old millionaire who pretty much owned the church where my father. Okay, what are you talking? I don't even know what that's about. Why did I even read that? I have no idea what you're even talking about. Mr. Manuel, how's the vacuum? Well, there it is right there. I haven't vacuumed since the first night. Maybe I should vacuum again. I don't know. But it's doing fine. It's sitting there. I'm glad you asked, Mr. Bob Newell, because I don't think anyone said anything about my vacuum on the last show. And I even showed you guys the vacuum. I don't think there was even one comment. I was wondering, was I buffering the whole time when I was showing you my vacuum cleaner? No one said anything. So thank you, Mr. Bob Newell. At least you noticed my vacuum cleaner. Richard from Australia is here watching, 5:30 a.m. Thank you, Richard, for getting up so early and checking us out. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We are at a pretty good surplus. We only have 25 of you good souls watching, but we have 42 thumbs ups. So thank you for all the thumbs ups. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. It seems like my popularity is going down. Who's on right now? Who the hell is on right now that is taking away my audience? Let's see. Who the fuck is out there? Really American? 1400 watts? Nicole Sandler. That's who it is. I love Nicole. I'm just kidding. TV2. 6 people are watching. That's 6 people that I could have. God damn it. Who else is out there? Who else you guys do watching? Who's cheating on me? Who else is cheating on me? I guess that's it. I don't know. That's all I see. I don't know. So Nicole and TV2 and someone called Really American, who I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know. So guys, go ahead and share. We need a bigger audience, man. Who doesn't want to come on here and talk about vacuum cleaners? Right? Wouldn't you rather come on here and talk to me about vacuum cleaners than you know, how Trump is turning our country into a police state? I don't know. I'm trying to see where did I leave off at? Oh, okay. How's the vacuum from Mr. Bob Newell? Brooklyn SKU, aka Trixie Lou party at TJ's new apartment. Like I said, we could probably get 5 people to fit in that place. So the first 5 to be there, we're gonna party. Mad Max says I made correct choices: cassette over 8-track, VHS over beta, and Blu-ray over HD video. But I never win anything when in Vegas. You and just everybody. No one wins. No one's winning in Vegas. But for me, it was like 8-tracks came out before cassettes, so we had 8-tracks, you know, and then cassettes came out. And then we just switched. We just kept switching to the newest best thing. Now beta, I think beta did slightly come out before VHS, but betas were so expensive. The beta machines, we never had a beta machine. I don't think. I remember some friends of mine had some. But then it seems like it wasn't too much longer, a couple years later, that VHS came out. And it seemed like a better system, and it was a little bit cheaper, even though they were pretty expensive. I think our first VCR machine, I swear to God, I think it was $2,000. And this is like 1970. This is like in 1977 or something. And then Blu-ray over HD video. I mean, those were all just things came out after, like your first disc, was just, you just got whatever there was. Then Blu-ray came out later. WW says in Paris, the ladies go out on the sidewalk and pull men off the street. Pig Alley. Why would you just? That's like a non sequitur. Why are we all of a sudden just talking about Paris and Pig Alley? Is that how your mind thinks? You're just like, woof. Are you like, ooh, shiny, something shiny? And then Mad Matt counters with, "There's a place in France where women wear no pants, but the men don't care because they wear no underwear." Hey, I took a guy to a strip club last night in the cab, and so I got a little kickback. It was only $50. I guess because it's a Thursday, they don't pay as much because usually it's like 150 or 160. But I guess that's on the weekends. So I got a $50 kickback, but I had to use the restroom, so they let me go into they let me go inside the strip club. And man, did this old man wish he was younger again? I mean, the girls are so beautiful. They really are beautiful. There must have been 100 girls in there. And you have to get to the bathroom. You have to walk in through the front door, and then you have to walk all the way. It's like a big long thing. And these girls, they don't know that I'm just some lowly taxi driver who's on social assistance. And they because they all want you to spend, money on them with lap dances or whatever. It's funny. So as I'm trying to make my way to the bathroom, they're like touching me. They're like, hey, they're like saying, hey, they're trying to get me to go, I guess, do a lap dance or something. And I'm just like smiling, and I'm just like, oh, thank you, or no, thank you, or excuse me, or I think to a couple, I just go, you're very beautiful, because they're beautiful. These girls are beautiful, man. Now here I am, the dirty old man, but so now I think I'm going to make a new rule. Like every time I drop someone off in a strip club, I'm going to go use the restroom just so I can get a little freebie look at these beautiful girls. They are so beautiful, and I know why these guys drop hundreds or thousands of dollars, because they get so wrapped up in it. They actually think that these girls are interested in them, and they're not. They're only interested in their money. But me just going from walking to the bathroom and having these girls kind of rub up against you, and they get all sweet with you. It's just such a funny experience, because I know I'm intelligent enough to know that it's a game and it's a trick, and they're trying to separate you from your money. I know that. I realize that. But then there's something that says like, hey, I think she digs me. That actually goes through your mind. You're like, I think she really likes me. Even though you know it's not true. You know that it's all bullshit. You know that all they want is to get whatever money you have onto their person. But so now, it kind of, because I've told you stories about how I had a guy in my Uber car who was literally crying, literally tears running down his face, because he had spent so much money, and apparently it wasn't the first time, because he was saying he'll never do it again, or he keeps telling himself he'll never do it again, and how they just lie to you and they say they love you. And it's funny that just last night, all I did is I went to the restroom and I came back out and I left. But how I got a little taste of that, of how these girls, these strippers, who are very beautiful, very gorgeous. I mean, my God, how you could intellectually, that it's just a game and it's just a trick or whatever, but you can still kind of go, I wonder if she likes me. It's just a weird head game. It's a weird head game. So be careful if you go to use the restroom in a strip club. You might not come out. I don't know. Or you do come out. You might be a lot lighter in your wallet or something. Anyhow, so a little window into my taxi driving world from last night. WW says, my folks came to Illinois. They got rich. McVickers and blood. So I don't even know what that means. McVickers and blood. Mr. Baldul, why does my house smell like marijuana? Probably because you're smoking fucking marijuana. I don't know. Mr. Spock, what god needs 3 shirts? AM says, we did comment on your purple vacuum. Okay, AM. And I'm glad you said purple, because that is a bit of, I guess, proof of life, proof that you did see that it was, you saw the purple. So thank you, AM. All right. Brooklyn SKG says, I missed the last show. Did you get a vacuum? Yes, it's right here. Should I get it? Should I get it out again? It's right here. It's almost within arm's reach. Not quite within arm's reach. Almost within arm's reach. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, here we go. Look at that. Look at that bad boy. I still haven't wiped it down. I got really dusty from sucking all the dust out. Yeah, I had a whole story and everything about the price, and I had to go take a picture of the sticker because it was ringing up $30 more than what it was supposed to be. Yeah, so there's that. I got that going for me. I'm just trying to see where I left off. Where did I leave off at? Oh yeah, there's the purple vacuum. Mr. Bob, no, I'm only 14 years old. WW, God can wear a zillion shirts and dance on the head of a pin by the light of the moon. Hey, Kimchi, where you been, Kimchi? The goddess Kimchi. Where the hell you been? Where in the hell you been, girl? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming on in for a bit. Mr. Bob Newell, does the apartment have a view? No, unfortunately, no. There's no view. Gulf Marine vacuums are devoid of substance, and the atmosphere sucks. Non-usable. My 8mm recorder had no sound. My grandma willed it to me. I'm just skipping a lot of the W stuff. I don't care. I won't get into all that. Mad Mac, my first VHS machine cost $1,200. Maybe it was $1,200, not $2,000. 79-ish. That was insane cost. I remember the year because I recorded the USA-Russia hockey match in 1980 Olympics. I remember, isn't that funny? When we got that VHS recorder, I would record all kinds of shit. I probably still have some VHS with just taping TV. It might be interesting to watch just because it would be, the commercials from 1978 or something, But I remember I would record World Series and Super Bowls. WW, my first computer cost over $3,000. Yeah, things were really expensive. Non-Russell 2, the Moulin Rouge is a cool place to visit. Mr. Bob Newell, was the bathroom clean? It was immaculate. And they even have a guy in there, like one of those, what do they call them? Porter? I don't know. That after you take a leak and you go to the sink to wash your hands, he's like right there with some soap. And of course, there's a big giant tip jar. I got paid $50. I ended up tipping, and I don't have to do this. I don't know. I tip the guy outside, the guy who checks you in. I tip the girl who, then you got to go into this cage, like a cash cage or whatever they call it, where she gives you the money. I tipped her. I tipped the dude in the bathroom. By the time I got out of there, I only had $30 left. I still had 40 because I think I tipped about because the guy outside I gave him a 5. The girl inside, did I give her a 5? And then the guy in the bathroom, I think I gave him $2. So I think I spent $12 on tips. Everyone's got their hands out. The greases of the palms out. WW cost me $120 to be in the VIP Bachelor section at Moulin Rouge in the year 2001. I wonder what it costs now. That's a quarter century ago. Mr. Bob Newell, did the strip club smell like oysters? No, it was very nice. Very nice. No, it didn't smell like sushi. No. I don't know what he's talking about. Aaron West loves my purple vacuum. Thank you, Aaron. Chris, beware of women that promote deception and flattery. Yeah. Hey, David in Great Perry, Texas, here it says, "Turn that sucker on." Yeehaw! Yeah, then I have to plug it in. Roxanne, I feel very nice. Chris Doug, can you vacuum out the White House? Belfast Bob, House Rising Sun TJ, 4 chords, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The House of the Rising Sun? It's a classic. I'll give you that much. It's a classic. Chris Doug, we need to get rid of the tool in the White House. We need to get the House back, and I think let's get the Senate too while we're at it. And then whatever happens in the White House, I mean, I think if we can get back Congress, I think we can at least stop a lot of shit. And then we got to get Gavin Newsom in there in 2028. I know a lot of you are like, Gavin Newsom. Okay, we got to get a Democrat. We got to make sure we get a good Democrat in there in 2028. I think Gavin Newsom would be a good one. Hopefully. We're let's concentrate on 2026. Yeah, Mad Mac VHS T120 tapes used to cost about $25 a piece, and I remember we would go to like Costco or something, and you would get those big packs of VHS, like a big 8-pack of them. You know, we're just always just taping shit like, and then because you could just tape over them, but there's a lot of stuff I wanted to save. You know, for whatever reason. You know, I'm a collector. Kimchi, Slava Ukraini. Got to get that in there. Mrs. Spock, can you do a Sean Connery impersonation? No. I think I could. I think at one time I could. But I just don't know. I'm just not feeling it right now. Just not feeling it, Mr. Spock. Porsche galore. I don't know. Hey, Goldfinger. No, I can't. I can't do it. I can't. Not gonna do it. Can't do it. I would have to hear some Sean Connery. I haven't heard Sean Connery. Is he even still alive? I think he died, didn't he? I haven't heard Sean Connery in a long time. If I listened to some Sean Connery, I could probably do it, or at least a word or two. But I can't do it right now. Brooklyn SJUK Tricks of the Rule says, I watched a few Fantasy Island episodes on YouTube recently. The women were so beautiful. They had real faces, not Kardashian faces. There you go. Not useful too. I was a stripper in a gay club complex back in the mid-90s. Well, there you go. Were you trying to fool all the guys that you liked them so much, and so you get their money? Is it the whole? I guess it's the same sort of routine. I guess government. Everyone can do Sean Connery. I can't remember. I think I have done a little Sean Connery, but I have to hear his voice again. I haven't heard him in a long time. WWE 11. I was a rock singer non-use. It's the same sort of different. Were you just a singer in a rock and roll band? WWE. I like the James Bond movies. They are what they are. Some are better than others, and they've gone through different kind of styles. The whole one with the guy that they've been doing lately. What's his name? Was a whole different style, much more I guess gritty, a little great action sequences. I mean, different. They've always been known for their action, but much more instead of just things blowing up and whatever. But the actor actually doing a lot of his own stunts and all that kind of stuff. So it's changed over the years. But I kind of enjoy all of them. Floyd Price, I like Senator Whitehouse. Hey, Floyd Price. Easy for me to say. Thanks for being here. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate you. And I think I like Senator Whitehouse too. I think he's a good guy. Every time I've seen a clip of him, he says stuff that I think is just right on. I'm always like, right on, man. Right on. So if I'm saying right on to somebody, then that means right on. Kimchi says at Trucker John, that'd be me. I thought I was helping my neighbor die with dignity, but maybe I was really hiding from politics, draining but worth the experience, wisdom, and love. Oh. Well, I didn't know all that. Sounds like quite the experience. No. Belfast Bob says Sean Connery was the best 007. I like Sean Connery, absolutely. Richard says that Gavin Newsom would make a great president. Thank you, Richard. Because I know a lot of us have been shit-talking Gavin Newsom, myself included a little bit, about his podcast. But other than that, I think he's been spot on with everything that he says. Floyd Price, my wife, a collector to TJ. Oh, your wife is a collector, I guess. Also, I got a whole basement full of collections. Oh, is 007 the Trolls? 007 is here. Hey, good to see you, 007, Kevin. Thanks for dropping on in for just a bit here. I don't know. Is anyone coming on? It's 1 o'clock. Did anybody come on? Is Hal coming back on today? Oh yeah, his power went out, and that's why they were playing a repeat. So I don't know if Hal. I guess Hal will come on if he gets power back. So I was just wondering if anybody's coming on, but guess it's just me and you, kids. Just you and me. Just you and me against the world. Don used to love the movie Octopussy. You just want to say that word again. WW says, I taught school all day on Friday, played and sang in a band on Friday night, partied and went to bed in the mid AM. You wild man, you. It's wild, crazy man. Yeah, Brooklyn Neschio's Trixie LaRue says, Gavin was married to Kimberly. Yikes. Well, give him credit for getting out of that while he could. You know? He got out of that and he upgraded to a very lovely woman, and I think they got a couple kids together now. I know this is just off a bit. Yeah. Just barely fitting in the old green screen here. I don't know. Man, if I set that thing up just, a little tiny bit too far back, then it won't cover. Aaron West also says Connery is my favorite Bond. James Bond. I kind of like them all. I kind of like all of them. They all have their own thing that they do. You know? Mike Myers, the FS, Richard says. Chris, do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. That was Goldfinger. Goldfinger. Floyd Price, I like Pierce Morgan too. Yeah, I thought they were all good. Because they all do different styles. They all kind of brought in different. Although the Roger Moore one was pretty much the movies were the same style as the Sean Connery ones. But then Pierce Morgan kind of made it a little bit different, especially the last one or two. They started getting into that more kind of intense, dramatic style. And then who's the latest, the newest guy, or not the newest guy, but the guy, the blonde guy. Then when he came in, then they did sort of make it much more intense, and dramatic. Not quite so campy, because the first ones are kind of more, not quite camp, but there's a certain playfulness to them, I guess. Kimchi Connery, the all-time GOAT. I will brook no dissent on this topic. Kimchi Pierce Brosnan was hot, but too pretty for the role. I don't know what that means. Where you gotta look like, I guess you gotta look like Sean Connery. And so, am I right? Like, and maybe they say this somewhere in the dialogue in the movies somewhere, but if you're 007, so that means that there's like 6 other agents that are even better than you, right? So as badass as James Bond is, and all the things that James Bond does, he's only the 7th best agent in MI6 or whatever, right? Am I right? Is that how it goes? So that's like 006. Wait, just like I'd like to see what 001 is like. They should do a 001 movie. If 007 can do all the things that 007 does, let's see the 001 movie. That would be something to see. Mad Mac, 2 p.m. Pacific should be Tony Michaels. Fuck Tony Michaels. Every time someone brings up Tony Michaels' name in my chat, I'm going to say, fuck Tony Michaels. Even though I really don't have a problem with him. But that's kind of, isn't that his saying? Like, fuck him? So I'm going to say, fuck him. Fuck Tony Michaels. I don't know why W is getting back on this topic of being pulled off the street. And didn't we already exhaust that topic? Why you got to keep beating the dead horse? W. I don't really care about you sleep in briefs and you sweat. I don't give a fuck about that. Mad Mac has a little ranking here. Sean Connery, number 1. Daniel Craig, that's the newest guy, right? Number 2, Pierce Brosnan, number 3. Now, Daniel Craig, has he already stopped? They're gonna have to have a new one, right? They're gonna have to have a new James Bond. Have they done that yet? Have they picked a new James Bond? Because Daniel Craig is out, right? Number 3, Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, I guess that's probably about right. I guess I don't know. I like Daniel Craig, but who was the one guy that did one movie? Remember, there was one guy. I guess it might have been between Sean Connery and Roger Moore? I like Roger Moore too. I don't know why you guys don't like Roger Moore. I mean, maybe he's not your top 3, but he could be the bottom of the list. But he's still good. I mean, I still like him. Hey, there's Sandy Foltz. I was swimming at Hyde Park. Hey, Sandy, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Thanks for drying off before you came in, by the way. Please do not track any water into the lounge. Make sure you dry off first. Grab a towel. Kimchi says, Damon, remember when the name Pussy Galore was uncomfortable but funny as hell? Yeah, I'm that old. Doug Pierce Brosnan. Richard, the worst James Bond was Australian actor. No, George Lazenby. That's the one. I think he was in one movie. And even then, I think I've seen that movie, and I didn't think that was horrible. I didn't think he was horrible. Oh, then didn't the other guy do some? What was that one guy that did? Didn't he do a few? I forget his name. Another English guy. Well, they're all English, except for the Australian guy, I guess. Yeah, Daniel Craig, George Lazenby. Yeah, Lazenby only did the one, I think. Christina Weibel's here. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. We are talking about 007, but we'll take a minute, we'll take a moment to leave our 007 conversation and talk about something real. Christina says, "Did you all hear them blaming Biden, saying he destroyed the Epstein files?" I heard about that on. I was watching a little bit of Stephanie Miller this morning, between making phone calls and all that stuff, and it's just so absurd and ridiculous. Like I've said, and I'm not the only one, that they're just going to blame Biden on everything. Anything that's bad, they will blame. They're going to blame it on Biden, no matter how ridiculous it is. And for one thing, it doesn't even make sense. Why would Biden destroy it? Biden, if anything, should have been posting it if he had it. Yeah, Mac, fuck him. Yeah, that's the Tony Michaels. Fuck him. So fuck Tony Michaels. Kimchi says Tony M shits on too many liberals for me, not making friends. I don't really watch them that often, but I don't have a real problem with them. I don't think, but fuck them. I just want to say fuck him. Just throw that back in his face, right back in his face. Chris Doug, Ian Fleming, who is the original author of the 007 books, right, was a real spy during World War II, and his cousin was Christopher Lee, who was the bad guy in The Man with the Golden Arm or whatever, The Man with the Golden Gun, or something like that. Kimchi, why no 008? Because she's too old for action movies. I said it. Damon Dog says, speaking of beating a dead horse, groovy shirt. Sure wish I had one, TJ. I know. I don't know what to tell you, Damon Dog. I don't know. I wish you could get your shirt. Mad Mac, the new one will be a chick. Damn chicks. So who's it going to be? Who's the next action star? Because the women that have done action are kind of aging out, right? What some of the really good action movies, like what's her face? Jennifer, what's her face? Did a good one. But she's probably getting, I mean, because you got to think, like, if they're going to do a bunch of movies, these movies take a long time to make. So we're looking at the next 10 years. So you got to have one that someone's going to be able to pull this shit off for another 10 or 15 years, probably. So, I mean, preferably it would be someone in their mid 20s to mid 30s. Preferably. Now they can get away with someone older, someone in their 40s, probably, but they got to really keep in really good shape to do all the shit that they do. Even with most of us with stunt doubles and all that kind of stuff, but still, there's a lot of close-up shots, and they want you got to pull off. You got to be able to pull that shit off. But who would it be? Who would the chick be? Who's a good action chick? That is, let's say, between 25 and 35 years of age. Put some answers in the chat, guys. Who you think? Who are you guys thinking? Richard Oliver, James Bond women were drop dead gorgeous. Well, that's the prerequisite to get that job. Mr. Spock, David Niven was the best Bond. 007, Kevin. Trigger John, the new Bond will be Henry Cavill. Oh. Really? I think he's good. I like Henry Cavill. Is he getting too old now? See, for guys, it's a whole different thing, huh? I mean, you've still got fucking Stallone and Schwarzenegger doing action fucking pictures, man, which is kind of ridiculous, I think, because they look like shit. I mean, for being their age, good on them, but they can't do the shit that they used to do. And I'm learning that Stallone's a real prick. I thought Stallone was like, I don't know. I always thought he was not a bad person, but now he's totally a fucking, capitulating to the orange fucking shit stain. So I have no respect for Stallone at all. I won't watch anything he does now. I was watching that fucking Tulsa, wherever show he was doing. No more. I'm done with Stallone. Richard, Daniel Craig is too short. Well, he did a lot of movies that didn't stop him from doing how many Bond movies did he make? Like 5? It's a little too late to say he's too short at this point. He got cast, and I think he did very good. And I don't really think you should be a height, shamer. He's not that short. And then in movies, you can't really tell that Tom Cruise is like 5'3". Granted, he doesn't look 6'5" or even 6 feet, but he doesn't. I think his real height is like 5'3", and he looks just like a normal, more like a 5'9", 5'8" or something in the movies. So it doesn't matter really what your height is, I don't think. Let's see. Skipping on down to see who you guys think the chick should be if they cast a chick for 007. Would she be like Jane Bond? I guess she would be Jane Bond. Bond. Jane Bond. No, Bond. Jane Bond. Oh yeah, Timothy Dalton. I thought he was fine. I guess I'm not as picky as you guys. Chris Doug says Albert R. Broccoli, producer, wanted Moore to keep playing Bond. Moore said his female co-stars were young enough to be his granddaughters. He defaulted to Timothy Dalton and quit. And now that's fine. I had no problem with that. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. And I remember I had no problem with Timothy Dalton. I don't have any problem with any of them. They're just James Bond movies. They're not. This isn't fucking Shakespeare, for crying out loud. Gotham Marine, got to go watch my boy Tommy Campbell. I don't know who Tommy Campbell is. Is he related to Glenn? Belfast Bob, Casino Royale, first film with Laz. I think first and only. .007 says fuck Tony Michaels. He says he's the Rush Limbaugh on the left. As if. I don't really think we need a Rush Limbaugh. You know what we need? We need Trucker John. We need more Trucker Johns out there is what we need. Yeah, Mad Matt. Christopher Lee was also, what's his name? I don't think that's the correct spelling of Sauron, Lord of the Rings. And Christopher Lee was a lot of things. The guy made probably over 100 movies. Yeah, Peter Sellers was Casino Royale and David Niven, not Lazenby. Okay. Angelina Jolie is young. I don't think she's young enough to be 007. She's like in her 50s now, isn't she? I mean, she could probably pull it off, but I'm looking like, okay, when she's in her 60s, because when they do these, they want them to do 3, 4, 5 movies, and each movie takes like 3 years to make. So when she's 65 or 67 or 70, is she still going to do it? That's why I'm saying it'd be advantageous to get someone who's between 25 and 35, who's physical and can pull off all the physical parts of it, and then that way you can have a good long run of movies. You got to think, people. You got to think. AM says, I took my children to the Spy Museum in Washington, D.C., and they had a display that Aston Martin used in the movie Goldfinger. Oh, man. I love that little car. It was so neat. And as a kid, I was a little kid watching that. And all the little things it could do, shoot out oil, and like the spikes would come out on the rim, the hub there and everything. The ejector seat. I loved it all. I think I had a little toy one of those, actually. Now that I think about it. Mad Max says, I just read the next JB will probably be Aaron Taylor Johnson, not a chick like I thought. I think he would be good. I loved him in what's it called? He was like an action. He played like an action hero, like a made up fake action hero that he made up. What was it called? You guys know it. They had 2 of them, and I love both those movies. I think those are awesome movies. I think he would be good. I think he would be great. But still, I think let's entertain who the chick would be. If they did a chick one. And I guess if they did a chick one, they might do, how they did Ghostbusters with the chicks and they only made one. I think there was a couple of reboots they did where they put chicks in it and they only did like one. So like James Bond, they could do like a one and done maybe. So we don't have to think about the longevity. I guess you could do a Jolie or something like that. But I'm looking at like a 3-picture deal, or at least a 3-picture deal here, which is going to be about 10 years of your life. All right, just you got to think of these things, folks. Long in the tooth, but probably could still pull it off. But I think he would be great, and he has English accent. And they always want those lineys, right? Because it's MI6. I think Idris Elba would be great James Bond. And Richard said Henry Cavill. I think Henry Cavill would be great. Oh, there we go. MJ Daniel. Gal Gadot is 40. She would not be bad. Something like that. If it's I think Gal Gadot. That's a good one, MJ. She's 40, but she's a young 40. She's a fit 40. She just had a kid, right? She was pregnant during the filming of the last Wonder Woman movie, I think. But that was like 5 years ago now, right? I think she would be great. So Gal Gadot, let's put one vote up for Gal Gadot. I think she would be great. That's a great choice there, MJ. So you get a point. Who the person that said Angelina? Oh, that was Kimchi. I'm not going to give Kimchi gets no points taken away, but I'm not giving any points for So right now, MJ is up 1-0 over everybody. Mad Mac in the 60s, Casino Royale was Niven and Peter Sellers. I think we already established that. Let's see. Chris Duggan found a box in the basement with all my dad's paperwork copies of the Bond series he read before they were even made into films. I read them as a child. Moonraker was my favorite book. Mad Max, Stallone is a maggot. Yeah, so fuck Stallone. Richard Red says, Meg Ryan, I'm sorry. She might be good as the boss or something. And Brad Pitt in 2007. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't go back in time. Brad Pitt, that motherfucker is fit, but he's like 60 now, right? Didn't he just turn 60? So I guess he would be too old to be Bond, unless you want to have an old Bond. But he's a fit motherfucker for his age. I mean, he could pull off all the. He could pull off, but he's not English. I think you have to be English. So yeah, no Brad Pitt. He's too old and he's not English. Because I guess we're doing two things now. We're picking out like a male Bond and a female Bond. Yeah, you got to be English or at least pull off a good English accent. Mad Max, Tom Cruise is a little dude. Yeah, I know. I just said he's 5'3". Stallone's like 5'6". Little motherfuckers. Little maggots. I don't know if Tom Cruise is a maggot, but probably is. You know. It looks like I might be buffering again, too, by the way. Mr. Spock should have Pierce Morgan. He already did. Oh, Pierce Morgan. He was already. Wasn't he already? And he's too old. He's way too old. I also stopped watching Tulsa. I saw the first two seasons, and then I don't think season 3's come out yet. But so after that season, that's when I started hearing him do all this, meeting with Trump and going to Trump functions, and I was like, "Fuck you, Stallone, no more." Mad Max should be a chick with a British accent. And what about someone from the Avengers? Who's in the Avengers? Oh, that one little chick. What about the little blonde chick? She might be too short, though. You guys were talking about height. That little blonde chick, though, she does good action. WW Trump. 007? 007 Kevin. Timothy Dalton was in A View to a Kill. Was he? I can't keep them all straight. We are getting some unstable transmissions, by the way. Oh, and we are over 2 hours, and I'm always hesitant about that because of the battery situation. Johnny Million is live. Okay, guys, watching. So in a couple minutes here, let me get finished up on this one. I like Gal Gadot. That was a good one, MJ. That was a good one. But hey, we made the goal today. So let me just. Hey, we made the goal. Thanks, everybody. We made our 5 out of 5 goal on those super chats. So hey, that means I get to come out and play a little bit. So thanks for doing that, and congratulations, Trucker John, on your apartment. You homeless son of a bitch. You good for nothing homeless bum. Congratulations. You have an apartment. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Anyhow, thanks, guys. I just want to say thanks real quick before the battery dies. And I as well just want to say hello to everybody. Congratulations, Trucker John, on your apartment. Hopefully you got it, right? You got it. I'm pretty sure it's a done deal. And I just want to say I love your choice in your vacuum cleaner. Yeah, it matches my beard. So there, you got that going for you. Yeah, look at there. See the purple? You see the purple? Yeah. So good choice in your vacuum cleaner choice there, Trucker John. Very good. All right, guys. Before we lose the battery, just want to let everyone know, make sure you subscribe. Tell everyone you know to subscribe. All right. See you next time. All right. Thanks for Beard Guy. And again, yeah, thank you guys so much. We made it. We got the super chats in. We got the apartment. Hopefully when I'm done here, I'll be able to find out if I get any kind of a move-in date, move date or whatever. You guys are awesome. I'm going to put in, let's see here. Let's go ahead and do a Johnny Million raid. I mean, a Trucker John raid. I think that's it there. Oh, did that not come out right? And I'll see you guys again tomorrow, 11 a.m., right after the House Sparks show. We'll do a House Sparks after show hang after House Sparks. And we can that'll give you guys some time to come up with some more people who should be the chick and also who should be the male. I think Idris Elba and Henry Cavill, I think, are both excellent choices. Whatever. And we can talk some more shit about Trump. Or whatever suits our fancy. Whatever, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have a little more information about the apartment and everything else. All right, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for being here. Anything else? Did I forget anything? Did I forget any? Oh, I forgot. Words of wisdom. How could I forget the words of wisdom? This is what everyone hangs on for. All right, guys, get your pad out, paper, pad, pen, crayons, Sharpies. Write this down. You don't want to miss it. Today's words of wisdom are really, really good. These are some really good ones, all right? So here we go. Are you ready? All right, here we go.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. All screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we win. Right here on the Trucker John Livestream. Know it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Trucker John, on the road he rides, live streaming all through the nights. From politics to pop culture he speaks. No topic is off limits, nothing is weak. From Vegas to the highways, he'll never tire. Shouting about food, talking about desire. He's the rebel of the asphalt, the king of the night. With a microphone in his hand, he's ready to ignite. Freedom is his fuel, passion in his soul. Gotta express himself, gotta take control. Moving through the country, keeping it real, no filter, no holding back, nothing to conceal.
Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shows, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. For free.